Have you noticed seemingly every brand is making a hard seltzer now? Feels like every commercial I see on TV is for one. White Claw, High Noon, Bud Light, Topo Chico, and Vizzy. I saw this ad for Vizzy that I just like for some reason, so today I thought we would recreate it. Here's the original ad with some YouTube-friendly music. I think that might be a fully computer-generated ad, so today we're going to look at how to practically recreate that commercial using real cans of Vizzy and a green screen, or in this case a blue screen, to get something that looks like this. To get started, I broke the ad down into 8 shots. For shots 1, 3, 4, and 8, I simply got some static footage of each can in front of the blue screen. I chose blue instead of green because some of these cans have green in them and I didn't want that to be keyed out. To set up the shot, the first thing I want to do is place the blue screen as far away as possible to avoid blue light spilling onto the can. To match the lighting from the original, you can see there's a strip of light coming down the left side of the can and another in the upper right. Some of the shots have the lighting in reverse, but for simplicity's sake, I just shot everything the same way. To get that strip of light down the left side, I used a Aperture 300D with a rectangular softbox from Godox, a little off to the left. And for a fill and to get that light in the upper right, I used another Aperture 300D with a lantern softbox up overhead and a little off to the right. You also want to make sure your blue screen is well lit and evenly lit, so I have a light on that as well. To make the cans look cold and refreshing, I'm using this mixture of 50% water and 50% glycerin. Glycerin you can just get from your drugstore, and it looks really nice on the can and it lasts a long time, but be careful when you spray this stuff because it's pretty slippery. I also used the top from the glycerin and removed it and put the bottles on it to prop them up so I could more easily remove the blue screen. Many product shots are filmed slightly pointing upward to give that heroic look, so that's what I did here, pointing very slightly upward using a 24 to 70mm zoom lens at around 50mm and the Sony a7S III. For shot number 2, we have the cans moving vertically, so to accomplish this, I just put the cans on my Foley desk and put the blue screen behind it and then just went up and down. Shots number 5 and 6 are cans rotating, and so I used the trick from Austin Paul and I attached an empty can with some gaff tape to a drill with a bamboo skewer. I had to cover up the light with electrical tape. And I also filmed this in 120 frames per second and then slowed it down in post to make it look like the cans were rotating slowly. You can also wear down the battery in the drill, and that'll help a little bit too. Finally, shot number 7 is the camera on a slider set at the fastest setting with my 90mm macro to get that nice close-up of the Vizzy label. I did do a little bit of cheating here and I recorded some can reflections using a yellow piece of construction paper and an acrylic sheet. I think the reflections look a little more natural with these versus doing it in After Effects, but it's not totally necessary. That's it for all the footage. It's time to take all this into the computer and start editing. Before I pull everything into After Effects, I wanted to get the right color grade on the cans, so I did that in Premiere. I pulled in the footage of the cans and the original ad, masked each out, and then used the comparison view to try and match the colors using the scopes. These real cans are a little different than the cans in the ad, so I had to do some manipulation to make them closer to the commercial. Once I got a grade that I liked, I wanted to pull it into After Effects where I'm going to do my edits, so here's a little trick to that. I copied the clip that I graded and pasted it into V2 in Premiere, and for some reason, once you do that, you can go into After Effects, into a new comp, and paste again, and it will appear. Now you can go over to the effects panel and take the Lumetri color and copy it over to anything you want. So I just repeated that for every shot, and then once I have all the color grades into After Effects, I'm ready to edit. The first thing I wanted to do was create a static shot with each can with the background. I copied the Lumetri effects onto the can and then added key light to remove the blue screen. I masked out the cap at the bottom and then added in the reflection that I filmed on the acrylic sheet. Then I brought in the original ad to match a background layer, a floor, and this big V. I also noticed the real cans of Vizzy have a tiny blue tint to their logo that was removed with the key light, so I duplicated the layer, deleted the key light, and then just masked around the logo to bring back that detail. For the opening shot, I made a very large comp, and then brought in all the static shots I had created in the same order as the original commercial, and then just drew a white border around them and keyframed the movement following the original commercial. I brought that into another comp that was 4K, added the opening rotation, and that was it. The second shot was fairly simple, just lining up the two cans we filmed on the Foley desk and masking them together with this white line to separate them like in the original ad. A note here, you want to click on the continuously rasterize for all the white lines, otherwise things can get weird. I added the third shot into this comp to line up the transition. This is just the static can rotating into frame with a shadow here to make it look like it's laying down. This is my favorite shot, the water explosion. I got a few assets from Storyblocks and added some tint to make them white and used the shot of the can rotating with the camera on a slider, pulling back to make it look like the can was falling towards the water. I even masked one of the water layers on top of the can to make it look like the water was overtaking it. The last two shots were simple, the Vizzy close-up that was filmed on the slider, and then finally the ending hero shot of all the cans, which is just the edited static shots we've already used added together into one frame. And we're done. It's a lot of masking and keyframing, but you can create a television quality commercial from your home using just a product and a green screen or blue screen and some editing. So that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.